Hello everyone, Action here, hope you're doing fine. Today we'll be covering a very important news. Stellaris just announced the Season 9 with 3 brand new DLCs. First, we'll be getting the Biogenesis expansion, which is the Bio Ascension path. Second, we are gonna get the Psionic Mysteries, which is basically the Shroud Ascension. And last but not least, we'll have the Infernal update with the Infernals Species Pack, which is gonna be the biggest species pack ever released. Now, if you haven't read the Dev Diary, go on this journey with me because I'll be covering everything here so you don't have to see through all of the Dev Diary by yourself. So first, I heavily recommend you watch the trailer because it's so cool. We have the option to buy either the expansion or the Biogenesis by itself. However, I think it's much better to buy the season pass because we have a much higher discount, although I know it's very pricey. So for the Bio Ascension, we will have 2 biological shipsets, finally, and also 3 new origins, the evolutionary predators, basically getting some species traits by combining unique phenotype abilities to craft the ultimate adaptive empire. So from this, I get that we could either conquer some species and grab some of their traits to us, something in the way of hybrid species. We have the Starlit Citadel, which will allow us to have an early access to the Deep Space Citadel megastructure, which we're gonna be covering later on, and also we'll have the wilderness, begin as a sapient planetary ecosystem. So basically a hive mind planet. We'll have the overhaul genetic ascension because, well, we have that with Machine Age, and we can either have cloning, purity, and mutation as our ascension paths, and over 18 enhanced authorities. Now, this I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do with it. From the name of it, we can already see that we can either clone for massive pop growth speed, we can go for purity, basically having a genetic preference towards something and staying there, and we can have mutation, which I think it's going to go in the ways of evolutionary predators, granting us traits based on other species. We'll have a new fallen empire, the Hive one. We only have the caretakers, which is the machine intelligence version. Now we'll have a fractured hive mind struggling to awake between its 3 splintered personalities. So Fallen Empire wasn't bad enough. We need one with psychological problems, and it's a hive mind. We'll have 6 new civics, and from the name of it we cannot assert what they're gonna be, but we can have some ideas such as crowdsourcing, genetic identification, but I don't really know. If you have any idea, please let me know in the comments section because I am very curious about it. We'll have the Deep Space Citadel megastructure, a versatile new defensive station capable of holding off powerful enemy fleets at any system. Now I wonder if this megastructure is only gonna be available to Bio Ascension empires, or if it's gonna have a Bio shipset. And we'll have another crisis path. Apex predators of the stars are not bound by petty limitations. Cast off the biological weaknesses that hold you back and become a force of nature. Oh boy. So I hope they go to a path of something like the Tyranids or the Scourge, but I think they're not gonna go with so much of Devouring Swarm style, perhaps some crisis path that allows for diplomatic relations just like we have Cosmogenesis and the other one, but yeah, it's gonna be a pretty aggressive empire, I guess. Now, the Biogenesis expansion includes most of what we already covered, but it also says that we'll have exploration of the effects of biological ascension on society. So probably some events regarding it, just like we have with Machine Age. We're also gonna get 16 new genetic species traits, including phenotype-based traits. So that's huge because we only have some advanced traits for Bio Ascension and they are very limited. With this option, I think it's much more fitting because machines have already a plethora of traits, and I mean, bio is just traits, right? We have so much diversity and it's not well represented in the traits. We also have portraits that change based on pop Shroud and leader level. That's fun, but I think it's only gonna go for the new portraits, not the ones that we currently have. Also diplomatic rooms and city sets as always, and the new crisis path. This is the planned dev diary schedule, but you don't have to worry about it, because I'll be releasing content for every single one of those to keep you guys updated. Now the season pass has everything covered in it for a cheaper price, and if you buy the season pass right now, you get this portrait that's basically a mixture of starfishes with an eye on it. Alright. Now the Biogenesis will be released at May 5th alongside the patch 4.0, so we have a release date already. Just about more than a month remaining for the biggest Stellaris update in years. Now at the third quarter of this year, starting at July and going up to September, we'll get the Shadows of the Shroud DLC, and the name already explains plenty of it. It's gonna be the Psionic Ascension path remake, and we'll have a revamped Shroud system, and I'm very excited for it. We also have a Shroud panel to track your Empire's attunement and unlock new powers. Now, I am a very big fan of the Psionic Ascension, and I've played plenty of runs using a Psionic mod that allowed us to have this Shroud panel with some powers. So I hope they follow something in that way, because, well, it was pretty cool. We could either instantly construct buildings, we could make a fleet immortal for a couple of days, we could also generate unity and base resources out of thin air just by summoning the Shroud, and all sort of problems we could cause to our enemy empires, such as random devastation in their planets. A revamped end of the cycle, the ultimate deal with the devil. Can you delay the inevitable? So basically Thanos on asteroids. Psionic auras letting your Shroud influence shape the entire star systems, and that's where I think cosmic storms are gonna be very important, because we already have a Shroud storm. Will this be a different type of storm or a different type of mechanics? Because we already have this Roni starbase that modifies the system, so maybe something in that way. And as always, more origins, civics, ships, government types, and more. But I don't think that this DLC will contain a crisis path, because I think that the Psionic crisis path is already to become the crisis, if I remember correctly. And at last but not least, we'll have the Stellaris Infernals, and they look pretty badass, to be honest. I've been wanting a portrait in those characteristics for quite a long time, so we'll have another crisis path to burn the galaxy to ashes as our empire thrives in destruction. Now that seems chaotic. We'll also have new origins, unearth ancient kin, probably something like the sprawling slums, but digging the guys up from the earth core, or endure the scorching wrath of a dying sun in 2 new origins. So yeah, that's pretty much what's gonna happen with our solar system. The sun is gonna go red and gonna go big, and it's gonna devour all planets. So that's pretty much the supernova that's gonna be covered in this origin. Volcanic worlds, a new planetary class with unique districts, events, and archaeological sites. I at first thought that they would inhabit molten worlds, but now I think they're gonna inhabit volcanic worlds instead. The difference, for me at least, is very minimal, but in-game I think that both worlds will still be uninhabitable just because of the interactions with something like arc furnaces, and customizations such as ships, portraits, civics, and more as well. So no ascension path, but a crisis path instead. So yeah everyone, I'm very excited for these updates, especially the Psionic one. And it's so much content being released this year, so much content. I really hope that they don't blunder this one, just like they did with Cosmic Storms, because I know a lot of people don't like it. I personally do. I really think they are very pretty, but sometimes annoying and very devastating. But yeah, Leave in the comment sections down below what you guys think. I'll be reading all of your comments. And as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because it helps me out so much in the beginning of the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.